cheated before.
Not with another human.
What do you mean?
I cheated on my boyfriend with his dog. It was a golden retriever.
I mean, how did your boyfriend find out?
He opened the door and I was in the doggy position with his doggy.
Oh, okay. Oh, you crazy.
Never cheated before.
No.
You want?
Man, what is it with y'all and these damn dogs, man? We got us another one. Florida woman charged with 26 felonies after sexually assaulting her own dog. Her own dog. She ain't gonna get no stray dog to mess with. She was like, fuck it, you right here, Fido, come on over here. Alright, so Valen Ada Marie Harab is 24 years old. She live in Milton, Florida, and she nasty. Somebody dimed her out off a cyber tip and blew her spot up. Now she charged with 3 counts of sexual contact with an animal and 20 counts of filming and possession animal sex activity. Oh my God. Child pornography, 2 counts of possession of child sexual abuse material. How is a woman interested in child porn? Like, y'all the ones can have babies. That is crazy, dog. That's crazy. And then the last count, using a two-way device to commit a felony. Oh my God. And then I hope this not the dog. And why they keep blurring these dogs' face out? That is so weird to me. Like, who finna look at the dog and be like, that's that dog. That's that dog that got touched on. Like, no, ain't what the other dog's gonna be saying that at the dog park? Why is they blurring this dog face out, bro? That is so stupid.
Alright, Shalom. I'd like to start off first and foremost by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachah Kodesh. Double honors to our elders and apostles, the great millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to those that do this work in truth and in sincerity. This is your brother Nathan Yala from the GMS Camp Atlanta, coming back at you through the Spirit with another lesson. Now, as you saw in the intro, you know, this Edomite woman, disgusting, depraved woman, right, is sleeping with dogs, okay? And you've seen that there was more than one. Seen the First Lady said she got caught cheating on her boyfriend with his dog, you know, and the second one, the woman actually got criminally charged for sleeping with an animal. And, you know, there have been many incidences that have been put on social media where you have, you know, these Edomite men and women both being caught having sex with animals, okay? Now, we all know that, you know, according to the law, and we're going to get that, sex with animals is prohibited. It is an abomination, okay? And you have, you know, these Edomites, you know, who thinks that there's nothing wrong with it. You know, this is why you got these devils that are, you know, allow a dog to kiss them in the mouth, and how close they are to animals, because at the end of the day, they are animals. They are brute beasts, okay? This is why, you know, just like in the animal kingdom, you know, violence might makes right and all those different things. It's the same with Esau, okay? He's a fucking brute beast. He's an animal, all right? And his women are no different. Now, of course, you're going to have some exceptions to the rule. Of course you are. However, for the most part, these devils are through, okay? They don't have any moral compass to tell them that, you know, hey, this is an animal, this is a dog, this is a different species of creature, and you're not supposed to, you know, sleep with those. They don't have that type of sense. And it actually says that in the book of Job. So we're gonna read that, and I'm not gonna make a super long video out of that, but you know, let me bring up. All right, there we go. All right, so we're gonna bring up Job 30, chapter 30. We're just going to slack it, 30 and 1. We're just going to start at the top. It says, not that now, but now that they that are younger than I have me in derision, which derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. I know this pause there and let's read that again. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to sit with the dogs of my flock. Okay, so we have our forefather Job speaking about how he wouldn't even let these men sit with the dogs of his flock, and that goes for their women too. Now, when it says that word younger, and let's look it up real quick. And it says men, a mine. Let's see, men.
Strong's H 4480. Men,
and it says
second entry,
and it says from out of, on account of, off on the side of, since, above, then, so that are not more than, from the expression separation, off on the side, out of, verb preceding, removal, expelling. Okay, so basically, to sum it up, it's basically a slang term, like saying youngin. Like, come here, youngin. Not necessarily mean that he's actually younger than them per se, but more so calling them a youngin in today's term. Basically, like young boy, like, come here, young boy. You don't know nothing, young boy. Something like that is the best way to describe it. Okay, because that definition really didn't go, into the actual meaning of it, okay? But it somewhat did. All right, so going back to this, it says that I will have disdain to sit with the dogs of my flock. Now, let's look up that word disdain real quick, okay? Let's look at this word disdain. And it means to reject, despise, refused, reject, despise. So basically, nafal, to reject. So he rejected, he despised the idea of even having these men. Hold on one second. These men to sit with the dogs of his flock, because of things exactly like you saw in the intro. You saw these Edomite women who are descendants of Esau, who don't have any problem getting licked in the mouth by these dogs, by having these dogs sleep with them, have sex with them. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a problem with that. Okay, they don't have a problem with that. All right, and back in the day when I was a kid, you used to see these attachments to these animals in the manner in which it was. You used to always think, is there something more? And then you used to say to yourself, nah, they wouldn't do no shit like that. Well, the hell they will. The hell they will. And I remember years ago when I was younger, I remember seeing a video with an Edomite woman it was an Edomite woman. She was wearing a green wig, and she never let her face actually show on the camera, but she had a Great Dane dog. This dog was a Great Dane, and the Great Dane, she would stand up on the wall. She had on like a green hair and like a green dress or a purple dress or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but she would lean up against the wall, and then the Great Dane would come up and stand up on all four legs and start busting her open from the back. And I'm like, ew, this girl is literally letting the dog screw her. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking, like, at that time I wasn't in the truth, so I didn't click that this was just an Edomite thing. But now, fast forwarding, I see now that, Edomites, this is something that they do. They go and they sleep with animals, okay? This is part of how Esau is. This is why the scriptures say I will have disdain to have them sit with the dogs of my flock, because they'll end up screwing or playing with one of your animals. There was a video where a white Edomite got to play. Somebody called. They heard a dog screaming like he was screaming for his life. right? Come to find out, and this was just fairly recent, come to find out that the Edomite man was in there sexually assaulting the dog, okay? So, you know, just beating the dog back in, you know, and the dog like, what the hell, you know? So this is something that these dirty ass, filthy Edomites that they do, all right? They have sex with animals, all right? And this is why they're, one of the reasons why they're so vile, all right? And they prey on little children, you know? They prey on everything abominable. Anything the Lord told them not to do, that's what these damn devils do. He tells them not to lay with man like mankind. Hey, he lay with man like mankind, because that's the nature of this devil. But let's continue on, because there's a point that I want to make, all right? It says, yea, we're on to might their strength of their hands profit me, whom in old age was perished. For the want of famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former times, desolate and waste. Okay, so when they were pushed into the mountains, they were desolate and waste. This is why they say they would come and rebuild the desolate places. They are, you know, because there was a time where these Edomites were you know, more than once, they were actually living in the caves as cavemen. They're the original. They're the cavemen. Okay, they're the Neanderthals. They're the cavemen. Okay, they're the ones who literally lived in the caves. They lived in the caves of Russia, Georgia, Russia. Okay, and they lived in the Caucasus Mountains. They lived in Mount Petra. So these are the original cave dwellers. These are the ones that dwell in the caves. Okay, these people here. All right. It says, who cut up mallows, right, by the bushels and juniper roots for their meat. All right, and you know that juniper berry. You know, I think yeah, I'm pretty certain that the juniper berry goes into gin, making gin. You know, I used to work as a bartender for a very long time. So, but what are the mallows? Let's look up what mallows are. Mallows, a plant that grows in a salt marsh. Okay, so a salt marsh, a swampy-like area. Okay, now you know, there ain't too many jakes gonna be in a swamp, you know, unless they eating the damn catfish and the gators and stuff like that. But you do have jakes that are doing that. But ain't gonna be too many jakes pulling up nasty shit out of the damn swamp to eat it. But these devils will, you know. Only a devil will take something like castoreum, which is a beaver, which is a liquid secreted from a beaver's anal gland, and call it vanilla because it smells like vanilla, right? It probably smell that way because they be eating all of the wood from the trees and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's all. But you know, these damn devils, they use these devils, you know, whatever they feel like that's cool to put in your body, they will. This is why there's so much bullshit in our damn food and shit, because this devil don't think that there's nothing wrong with putting these chemicals and things of that nature in our food. You know, he'll eat it and it's fine. It doesn't kill you right away, so we're good. That's how this devil is. Okay, so let's continue on. It says they were driven forth from among men. Okay, because there was a time where people realized, hey man, these motherfucking people here are just through. They're wicked as hell. They prey on children. They bang animals. You know, they eat each other. They lie. They cheat. They steal. They're conniving. There's no honor amongst them. You know, this is what why they were driven forth from among men. The same shit that they're doing now. Okay, stealing all the land, making it unbearable to live in a world that was created for all, plenteous, you know. Hold on for 1 second, Aku. So yeah, you know, the same thing that they were doing then, they're doing now. Okay, stealing everything, making it unbearable to live. Destroying the environment that Yahweh Shem Yahushai created for the sake of Israel, you know, just destroying the world. And they're doing all these things for profit and things of that nature, okay? So they were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as a thief. Like, you know, like when somebody, stop thief, you're stealing my stuff, you're stealing my stuff. They're crying after, like, get your ass out of here. Get out of here. Chasing them away and shit, you know? Because these devils, you know, you couldn't have these damn Edomites around you because they'll try to steal and take your shit from you and do all type of abominable things. Your children that come up missing. I mean, all type of shit, you know? So people finally figured out, hey, these wicked ass motherfuckers, these damn devils. Hey, Shalom, bro. Shalom. How about you, Shabbat? Yeah, Shalom. Yeah, these damn devils, they figured out that it was them asses, these motherfuckers that was doing all this stuff. That they were the ones that were the problems and stuff like that. So yeah, they were driven out from before men. They were chased after, you know? Now going back to the original point, right? They were sleeping with animals back then. You see what I'm saying? And now that they're back in power, they're doing the same thing now as they were then. This is why this Job 30 is so relevant to now. You know, you even get Edomite women that are sleeping with animals. And they're making it known publicly to show you that this devil ain't got no fucking shame. You know, you laying down with a dog. What type of feeling of lust do you have inside you to say to you, hey, you know what? I'm about to sleep with my goddamn dog. That's crazy. You know, but that's is why we call this man the devil, because you can't get no worse than him. All right? So I'm going to continue on. It says, to dwell in the caves of the valleys, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks. This is what these motherfuckers is, the original caveman. Okay? They was the Neanderthals. They were the ones that lived in the caves. This is why the society is so bad. You took a animal, a wild animal that didn't even have enough sense to build him a house out in the sun. You know what I'm saying? He's digging in a damn cave like a dog digging a hole, you know, in the ground. You know, he didn't have enough sense to even build him something outside. He's digging into the caves to live. This is the motherfucker that's in charge right now. These same people. Okay? And it says, among the bushes they braved. Now let's go into this word braved. Okay? Because we read it all the time, but this word braved, it means a primitive root.
Strong's H 5101. Nahak.
And it means it means brave, cry out. It says to brave, cry out. Okay? And it ain't talking, let's make it like a yelling noise, like you know, like that ooga booga shit that they say Jake be doing. That was really them. That was really them motherfuckers doing that ooga booga shit. That That's why there was a time where our people had to teach these motherfuckers how to talk, how to wash their ass, how to properly communicate. Because this is what these motherfuckers was doing. So do you think a person, a creature like that, couldn't even call them a person, that don't even know how to use words? You think they were actually, you know, didn't view a dog as a potential mate? They was looking at dogs as potential mates, man. All right, these are the people that are in charge right now, and you got these Edomite women on social media openly saying that this one bitch said, man, let's listen to this video again, man. Let's listen to this video again, man. This shit was crazy. This bitch said that she cheated on her man with a dog, with his dog.
Before.
Not with another human.
What do you mean?
I cheated on my boyfriend with his dog. It was a golden retriever.
I mean, how did your boyfriend find out?
He opened the door and I was in the doggy position with his doggy.
Oh, okay.
Now these are things that you should take to the fucking grave with you. You know, you shouldn't be out. And you gotta excuse, man. You know, I don't even care, man. This is just deplorable right here. You shouldn't even tell nobody about this, but you're letting your kind be known. You know? I mean, what kind of shit is that? Hey, what's your body count? Well, I've been with 20 men and one dog. The fuck? Hold up. What do you mean? Yeah, I was with 20 men and I cheated on my boyfriend with his dog. And he caught me. What? You slept with a dog? Yeah. You see that you see the madness behind this shit? And these are the same people that rule the earth right now. You see? And you wonder why things are so chaotic and things are so messed up. You know? Because the devil is ruling. The man that sees everything from an ass backwards perspective. Okay? So I'm going to grab one more precept and I'm going to close out on that. Go to Leviticus. Leviticus chapter 20. All right, so this is Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 13. And it says, hold up, I'm at Leviticus chapter 20, verse 13. Not bad. It says, if a man also lie with mankind, that goes for woman too, as he lied with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination, committed adultery, an abomination. It's like it. All right. If a man lied with mankind as he lied with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They should surely be put to death. Their blood should be upon them. That's not what I wanted. Okay, verse 15. That 15 is what I wanted. It's like it. It says, if a man lie with a beast, he shall surely be put to death, and you shall slay the beast. Okay? So as Elder Malcolm has said in his video, when he did a video in regard to this, you got to kill the damn animal too. The animal is being forced to do this shit. And now you got to slay the beast, and you got to slay the person that did it. You know? But we live in a society where judgment does not go out. These people get to go to jail, they get to walk free, and they get to commit this crime again. And these are the things that make evil fester. You see, people think just because you get caught and you go to jail that that particular evil is stopped. No, evil is a spiritual thing. If you don't snuff out the person with that evil spirit, that spirit is going to grow and multiply, man. You see what I'm saying? This is why the law is so harsh on certain things. It's because there's no coming back from that. There's no redemption from those things. You sleep with a damn dog, you die. You lay with a man like you lay with a woman, you die. Okay? Because these things are unforgivable abominations that you need to be snuffed out for. Now through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, if we are washed in the word and we come into this truth, we are forgiven for things that we should have been killed for. However, at the same time, if you willingly sin after coming to the knowledge of the truth, there remains no more sacrifice for sins for you. Okay? For all you people out there thinking that you can still do whatever you want to do after you done came into this thing, it don't work like that. Okay? But that's a topic for a different day. But anyway, with that, I pray that you were edified. I'm ended off by giving all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Bashem Rakar Kadash. Until the next time, I can say shalom.